The Denver Nuggets, they are exactly who we thought they were. The Denver Nuggets are rolling, they're winning, they're dominating, and they're doing this all in just 3 quarters. This is not the first, second, or third. This is the fourth straight game by your Denver Nuggets in which the game has been over by the end of the third, and Nikola Jokic has not had to step on the court in a fourth quarter over the last 4 games. Not only is this huge for right now, this is going to matter later in the season. The Denver Nuggets, contrary to belief, they're not dead in the dust. They're not down and out. They're just as dangerous as a lot of us said they were. And right now, the Denver Nuggets, the MONSTARS, they're absolutely headhunting. Y'all know what time it is. Let's get it. The Denver Nuggets get a dominant win over the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously, no Joel Embiid in this game, but you want to talk about a masterclass of passing, of shooting, of offense. This was that game for the Denver Nuggets, you all. They were sublime today. The Nuggets were sublime today. Just an utterly dominant, earth-shattering performance from the team, and they did everything they were supposed to. Again, Philadelphia, they've not been good. They've been losing a lot of games. There's no Joel Embiid, who's one of the best players in the NBA. They had Tyrese Maxey. They had Paul George. They had everybody they needed other than Embiid. But, again, Jared McCain's out rest of the season. Kyle Lowry was out. They've been dealing with a lot in Philadelphia. And, obviously, you can just hope that he gets healthy because, obviously, Embiid, he's one of the biggest stories in the league because of how dominant he is on a game-by-game basis, and that's a player that you want to have in the lineup. But the Nuggets, they didn't allow that to get to him at all. The Nuggets just said that we got to take care of our business. That's the only thing that matters, and they did. And the Nuggets blew out the 76ers 144 to 109. 144 to 109, y'all. And this was an absolute beatdown. This was absolute beatdown. And I love that the Nuggets in the second half, they responded. You know, in the first half, the Nuggets were playing horrible defense. Philadelphia scored 67 points in the first half. They ended up scoring 42 points the rest of the game. So, again, this is a part of the story for Denver. In the first half, they will got lollygag. They'll play around. The rotations won't be what they need to be, all that stuff. But when it comes to the second half this year, they have been a dominant offensive and defensive unit across the year, regardless of competition. And tonight was yet another example. And just how dominant in the first half, I want to say Philly had like a 118, 120 offensive rating, maybe a little bit higher. The Nuggets ended with a 150.0 offensive rating in this game. And then Philly had a 113.5 deep offensive rating in this game. So the Nuggets were able to really just to clamp up. And again, there was a lot of parts of this game where stuff could have gone better, but the Nuggets just took care of business, man. And you love to see it, and you're getting it from the best player in the world. I mean, at this point, y'all, like, I need y'all to see this. The Denver Nuggets, this is probably the most important stat line of anything that was said. The most important stat line of the day. The Denver Nuggets are now 15-5 in the last 20 games that Jokic has played in, and the Nuggets are a plus 235 in those minutes that he's played. The Nuggets are 15-5 in the last 20 games that Nikola Jokic has played in, and they're plus 235 in those minutes. And for me, that means everything. That's when you know the Nuggets are right. When they're dominating the Jokic minutes and they're dominating the minutes with the starters on the court. And then now you get the second unit, especially as of late, they're figuring out a real identity. A real identity, man. And they are playing so freaking well. And y'all, I just want to make sure y'all understand. So tonight, in just 3 quarters, Nikola Jokic gives you 27 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 steals, and a block. You get 27 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and you get 5 stocks from your center. You get 8 of 12 from 2 for 75%. You get 2 of 3 from 3 for 67%. You get 5 of 5 from the free throw line for 100%. And then you get a 78.5% true shooting. And again, that's a plus 21. A plus 21. Again, y'all, like Jokic is having perhaps the best offensive season ever. And if you look, you know, this is a little bit of hyperbole, but this is what kind of the narrative about. Let me set this one up. So maybe about like a week ago, you know, I'm sitting here, you know, we're watching SGA, who's having a fantastic year, rightfully deserves to be in the MVP race at 1 or 2 for whoever. But the narrative around it was because Thunder have been dominating and they've been winning, that like the MVP race is over. It's over. Like it's done. There's no conversation. They lost single digit games. They're on pace to win 64 games or whatever. Shay's, you know, leading the league in scoring. He's been one of the best defensive guards in the year. They're the best defense in the NBA. Chet, Isaiah, all this, whatever, and they're missing these players, still winning. And everybody said the MVP race is over. And so I'm sitting here like, that's interesting. Like, MVP tracker obviously has him leading, Jokic leading the race. Until 3 weeks ago, Jokic was leading the MVP race. But all of a sudden, it switched and it changed. And I'm like, oh, those are because of wins. But here's the funny thing. Ever since that comment was made that the MVP race was over, Jokic is now, again, this is through 3 quarters, y'all. So this is not 4 quarters of basketball. Jokic has not played in a 4th quarter in the last 4 games. Jokic is averaging 20.3 points per game, 13.3 rebounds per game, 10 assists per game, 2.5 steals per game, 1.0 blocks per game, 57.1% from 3, 72.2% from 2, 89.5% field goal percentage. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, we're watching greatness. Like, we're literally watching one of the best prime peak seasons that we've ever seen. And, you know, Stan Van Gundy today, you know, he said that the only reason he can see that Jokic wouldn't win the MVP award this year is because people are tired of giving it to him. Like, they're tired of having to hand him the MVP award at the end of the year. And, I mean, at this point, it's like, look, that's just kind of what it feels like. Because there's just no, for me at this point, especially with the injuries to Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray not playing well for a large majority of the year. And then last half of the year, he's been really good. And then the Nuggets are winning again, coincidentally. And it's like people are just wanting to like run past Joker and run past what they're doing. So it's just like unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable to me. And I think that we're at a place now, man, with Joker where it's just like it's all-time greatness, man. Like, I mean, I really don't know what else to say. You know, I want to give due to Joker because you got to give due to him, but obviously everybody at this point, like we know what it is with Joker. Today was a host of great play from a lot of different people. I'll start off with the starters. Christian Braun, another 20-point game. He was 8 of 11 from the field, and he was 4 or 5 from the free throw line. I think Christian Braun is, I think he's 11 to 12 from the free throw line last 2 games. He was killing in transition today. Had a bunch of points in transition. He had a great game. He was a plus 20. Michael Porter Jr. today, 19 points. Great game for Porter. 6 rebounds, 1 assist. He was 3 of 6 from 3, 8 of 13 from the field, 61.5% from the field, and 3 of 6 from 3, and only played 24 minutes today. 24.33 minutes today. Michael Porter Jr. is having an incredible season. And, you know, he's had a lull a little bit because he hadn't had to score a whole lot. as of late, but on the season, 18.2 points per game, 41.6 from three, 51 from the field, 71 from the line. Just an incredible Porter year. He's been amazing. Russell Westbrook today had 11 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds. He had 5 turnovers, but he had 4 in the first quarter. So once the first quarter was over, it was a wrap. Russ's passing this year in transition, and especially finding Jokic, Christian Brown, anybody that's cutting to the rim, he has been phenomenal. The Denver Nuggets have the best passing team in the NBA. And a lot of that has to do with Jokic and Russ and Murray and Gordon. I asked this on Twitter. I think that the Denver Nuggets have the best quartet of passers in the league when Jokic, Russ, Murray, and Gordon. I don't think there's a team that has a better set of passers in the NBA because they all do things in very different ways and some similar, but they're all aggressive with their passage, which is what you want. Now, that creates a lot of turnovers for the other team, but it creates a lot of advantages, and Russ is spearheading that. Jamal Murray wasn't needed today. He was 2 of 7 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 9 points. But again, he was not needed today. He was a plus 18. I think he played fine. Like, he missed 3-pointers. Murray missed 3 wide open threes today. So that wasn't great. But 0 of 3 from 3. That's why the 2 of 7 looks like that. Aaron Gordon off the bench, y'all. He played 22 minutes. 19 points for HE, 3 assists, 6 of 7 from the field, 3 of 3 from the 3-point line, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, and he was a plus 10. So, y'all, I'm officially, at least for the foreseeable future, not for every matchup, at least for the foreseeable future, I'm officially on Aaron Gordon off the bench team. Aaron's averaging 13, 5.5, 2.7, 53% from the field, 41 from 3, and 78% from the line on a 64 true shooting this year. Aaron Gordon. He's efficient. He's calm. He's collective. His defense is elite. He's making turnaround middies now. Like, his 3-point shot looks stupendous. Like, the form is there. He's pulling up in transition. He's finishing half-court possessions. He's still catching lobs at the rim. Aaron Gordon has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And that is, like, I think where I am in terms of just Aaron Gordon just gives this team a completely different look. A completely different look. And AG, last 4 games, because I think he's only been back for 4 games now. Or 5. He's been back for 5 games. And so the Nuggets, they're 5 and I think they're 5-0. Let me see. Yep. So Aaron Gordon's been back for 5 games now. They've beaten Dallas, Miami, Orlando, and Philly. AG's averaging 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists since he's been back. 63% from the field, 42% from 3, 94% from the free throw line. 76.5 true shooting for Aaron Gordon. And what I love is how he is just continuing to allow the game to come to him. Because, I mean, that's honestly just what a lot of it is. It's like, can the Nuggets find a way to, when Aaron Gordon is here, to stabilize that bench unit and to make sure that in the non-Jokic minutes, they're not getting absolutely hammered. And because they're having, and so that what the non-Jokic minutes have been, to start off every second quarter, here's the lineup. Jamal Murray, Julian Strawther, Peyton Watson, Aaron Gordon, and DeAndre Jordan. That's the second unit. That's the non-Jokic minutes. Is 2 starters basically, or 1 starter, but 2, Aaron Gordon. You put 3 bench players in. You let Russ stay with Jokic, MPJ stay with Jokic, Brown stay with Jokic, and then you put Murray and Julian Strawther to space out that floor. You get 2 wing defenders on the roster, and then on top of that, you get DeAndre Jordan. Like, Malone has found something. And this, for me, is also, again, one of the biggest developments of the year. It's like, oh, wait, you don't have to super stress the starters. That sounds great to me. That sounds great to me, y'all. And again, like, we'll see how Malone responds, to all that. And so I don't, it's not even like crazy if, Malone decides he wants to go back to the starters or anything. Like, I'm not even tripping like that. But I think they have just been able to find some synergy, and they're just not dying in the Jokic minutes, in the non-Jokic minutes. And for me, that's like the most important story. And right now, if you look at the lineups that have played over the last, basically, let me see, when Aaron Gordon came back, I want to give y'all this exact number so you can get a picture of just where the Denver Nuggets have been. So Aaron Gordon comes back on, let me see here. He came back on the 12th. So let me filter out these lineups for you all. So I'm going to NBA.com. I'll just show it to you. I'm going to NBA.com. I just want to figure out what the lineups look like. And these are updated, by the way. So including tonight for Aaron Gordon. So they play 5 games. So lay out these minutes. So the Jamal Murray, Peyton Watson, Aaron Gordon, DeAndre Jordan, Julian Strawther, they're crushing it offensively. So it's a minus 0.5 net rating since AG came back. But you know what? That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. And the reason that it's fine is because they just need to not get hammered. That's the biggest issue. Just don't get hammered, don't get killed. And they're doing that, and they're surviving. And this is why the Nuggets feel different right now, too, because it's like, oh, wow. Like, they're not giving up, like, 8-point deficits and 10-point deficits and 12-point deficits. Okay. Now Jokic comes back in the game, and it's per usual. So, but one of the reasons why it's working so well is Julian Strawther, y'all. I see some people in the chat like, I'm 17 and a half minutes in. I haven't talked about Julian, y'all. There's so many different things going on. Julian Strawther had 23 points off the bench today with a plus 21. Julian Strawther, 23 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 9 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 8 of 14 from the field, 26 minutes played, and they won the minutes by 21 points from Julian today. He is ascending. For so much of this year, and again, we talked about this, y'all. Like, we literally talked about this. For so much of this year, we said that it's going to take a while for Julian to get with the program. But once he does, it's going to be money. And he took a minute to figure out some stuff defensively. He's been way better defensively because he's been way more connected and glued into his assignment. And that's made a world of a difference. Like, the limitations are still there. But if you're locked in up here and you know where you're supposed to be and you're not making as many mental mistakes, that's so much of the job of being a good defender in the league. And he's doing that. Y'all, last 9 games for Julian Strawther. 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He's shooting 44% from field, 43% from the three-point line on 5.9 attempts a game. 43%, 91% from the free throw line. So 43% from 3, 44% from the field, 91% from the free throw line. Oh, by the way, he's a plus 65. Julian Strawther is a plus 65 in the last 9 games off of the bench, playing 27 minutes, 32 minutes, 31 minutes, 26 minutes, 18 minutes, 25 minutes, 26 minutes, 26 minutes, 26 minutes. That's a lot of minutes. That's a lot of minutes. CT, my dog CT. Everybody go follow CT on Twitter. I mean, that's my dude. Great content, great draft mind. CT says, do you trust Julian or Peyton more in the playoff as of right now? You know what? The way I work, me personally, I'm always still going to default to the rangy defender. Because, CT, one of the things is too, it's not just Julian that's been playing well, but like Peyton has legitimately like had some really good moments of late. Some really good moments. Now, Peyton Watson's not going to have the scoring volume because that's just not what he does. But saying the same time frame as Julian Strawther, last 9 games, Peyton is averaging 8 points, 3.7 rebounds, 1.9 blocks a game, 45% from the field, 41% from 3, and 77.3% from the free throw line. And if I told you that maybe your best defender, best shot blocker, at least your best defensive playmaker was shooting 45, 41, 77, and I told you were going into the playoffs and you could get 45, 41, 77 from Peyton Watson, you would take it any day of the week. This is like Jaden McDaniels territory that we're in. I mean, that's what it is. Like, if that's what Jaden McDaniel was last year, 45, 41, 77. I mean, if you're getting that off your bench and he's connected up here, he knows where he's supposed to be, he's not fouling a whole lot. And that's one of the other things. Peyton Watson in the last 9 games only averaging 1.4 personal fouls a game. So he's playing smart. And the Nuggets are winning his minutes. In the last 9 games, they've won his minutes once, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 9 games, they won those minutes. And again, the reason why winning your minutes are important is because you're playing a lot of minutes without Joker. And if you're playing minutes without Joker and you can stabilize on the non-Joker minutes and then help win the Joker minutes, it's like, yeah, it's money. It's all money. I think Peyton Watson has to be in the playoff rotation. So I absolutely, CT, want to see him in the playoff rotation today. Just a good game from Peyton Watson. To finish out the box score, DeAndre Jordan +7 today. He had 4 points, 6 rebounds, and assist. He also had a steal and a block, or just a block. Again, DJ giving you good minutes. Hunter Tyson made a 3-pointer today. Jalen Pickett had a nice moon ball midi today. Zeke Naji +7 had a nice block today. He actually had 2 rebounds. And then PJ Hall off the bench. Every single Denver Nuggets won their minutes tonight. You check out some of the game chart stuff. The Denver Nuggets scored 68 points in the paint today. That's another dominant game. That's at least their 9th or 10th game, I think, with at least 68 paint points, at least 65. Dominant game. The Nuggets had 23 second chance points, 23 of them. And the Denver Nuggets had 39 fast break points today, 39. Y'all, in the first quarter alone, I want to say in the first quarter alone today, the Denver Nuggets had 18 fast break points. Yeah, 18 fast break points. They ended up, I think 19 fast break points. They had 18 with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left in the first quarter, y'all. Like, this team is so dynamic, and yeah, it's astounding, man. Like, Malone deserves a lot of credit. I'll end the show on this. Michael Malone deserves so much credit. He has been asked to deal with injuries, young players. Russell Westbrook was an absolute misfit. I mean, a number of reported official media members with credentials said that dude will not work. He's going to make Denver worse. Why are they doing this? The moment Russ signed in Denver, they said it wasn't going to work. The moment Russ signed in Denver. And you know what? You know what Russ and Malone had to say to that? Let me see. Let me check this real quick. Russell Westbrook as the starter when he shared the lineup with Nikola Jokic this year. The Denver Nuggets are 16-3 when Russ starts with Joker this year. And they said it wasn't going to work. And now, do you realize how the narrative is shifted now for the national media? Is moved away from Well, Russ, it's not going to work in Denver, even with Jokic. If it didn't work with LeBron, it's not going to work with Joker. Now it's shifted to, well, in the playoffs, it's not going to work. Well, guess what? The Denver Nuggets, I think the Denver Nuggets have the most dynamic offense in the league. They're getting to the free throw line almost better than anybody else in the league. They're creating more transition points than anybody else in the league, and they're shooting one of the most. They're like one of the. They're a top 3 efficiency team from the 3-point line in the league, and they're leading the NBA in paint points. So the Denver Nuggets have so much offensive versatility, and a lot of that's owed straight to Russell Westbrook. He deserves all the credit, and so does Michael Malone. Shout out, y'all. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, y'all. We crossed 12,000 subscribers. Let's see if we can get to 15,000, man. We're going to continue to grow. Players' Choice, again, I'll be at All-Star Weekend for Players' Choice this year. Got a lot of great content out there. Locked On Nuggets, Locked On NBA, Bleacher Report, Mile High Sports. Y'all know where to find me, Swipa Gang. Y'all,